Hello, my name is Semerzier, and this is the great civilizations of Egypt and Greece. Now, Egyptian and Greece civilization. Egyptian and Greece civilization are two of the oldest and most successful civilizations to ever form. Without knowing these civilizations, many things that we now know today would not have been discovered. These two civilizations have made lasting impacts in not only our society, but many others. Similarities. Both of these civilizations are known to have the great ability to trade with other civilizations. Although they both had their different methods on how they would go about trading due to their geographic locations. The Nile River was a great advantage to the Egyptians since their products were mostly agricultural. The Greeks had a much harsher climate, and their focus was instead on the development of commercial law and merchant class. This is why the Greeks had to develop much more complex trade routes than the Egyptians did. Both of these civilizations were similar in terms of their social order. Both civilizations had an upper class that were landowners, and each of these upperclassmen had their peasants and slaves. Religious priests were also part of the upper class, as they had a great say in the political happenings of both the civilizations. Systems of living. Even though both the civilizations encouraged significant scientific studies in astronomy and mathematics, and they had greatly developed political and economic systems, they both showed more conservatism. Change was not encouraged, and was only brought on about because of the outside forces, such as natural disasters or invasions. Both civilizations were, therefore, able to last a long time while keeping their true roots and true values. The government structure for Greece and Egypt were quite different in both civilizations. The government was usually small, with various cities, states, and that were mostly self-governing. The Polish culture, however, had great empires that were ruled by monarchs and kings. The wealthy and the rich class controlled of the cities in the polis. Now, the Egyptian government, the pharaoh was the main ruler of Egypt, and unlike Greek politics, the general public did not have any say or representation in the government. This was also due to the religious differences in between ancient Egypt and ancient Greek. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was some sort of a god who was answerable to some higher gods. The ancient Egyptians believed that there was more to life than just the life on earth. Keys to having a successful civilization. We saw that both of these governments have different methods on how they govern, trade, teach, and other things. But in the end, each of these civilizations were successful and lasted a long time because of a system of fair and just laws on central principles, a successful adaptation and improvement on technology to improve the lot of individuals. They had leaders that directed the people towards the right direction, and had a good recognition on what the society needs, which sometimes have to overrule personal needs or wants. One thing that we have now that the two civilizations didn't have back then was women in our society today have a much higher role in the United States of America and other parts of the country and other parts of the world. Today, we see women have roles in government, upper division jobs. We've even seen women run for president of the United States. Women should have been on the same level as men since the beginning because God created us all equal.